What are the do's and don'ts of visiting Japan? Well, we just hosted a team of 6 people going through Tokyo in a week, taking them all over the place. And 5 of them, it was the very first time for them in Japan. So we got this idea after putting out this last video. We wanted to talk about what are the do's and don'ts when you visit Japan. First of all, I think the biggest do is do visit Japan. It is so worth it. There's nothing like coming to Japan in person. Now the don't of that is don't create headaches. But that's why we're here. We're going to help. How do you visit Japan and do it in a way that just is great here and great for you? I would say one of the things right away is don't underestimate how much you will be on your feet. And if you've heard other people talk about Japan, you've seen this. But still, it's really easy to underestimate it and think, oh, 20,000 steps a day, like I can handle that. And maybe even you go out and you're getting 20,000 steps a day. But it doesn't always count how much you're just standing in one place. You're standing on the train when you're going somewhere. You're standing in line. There's not a lot of benches, different places. In fact, sometimes even eating, you're standing. So you have to be prepared to be on your feet a whole lot. Ruth, how about when to visit Japan?
Ooh, I do not recommend visiting in August because it's really hot. But April, May, October, there's a possibility that you'll have weather issues, so you just have to be prepared with layers for clothing and a small umbrella or lots of sunscreen because you can't control the weather.
And I would avoid major holidays here. Like there's a week called Golden Week at the beginning of May, very end of April, beginning of May, and society shuts down. I mean, there are convenience stores still going and some things, but it will be much different than if you visit outside that, or Obon, which happens in August. And so there are some major holidays that I would avoid, because also the lines are just crazy long on those days, and transportation can be just crazy. What I was surprised to see when we went around with the team was how much you can get by with just English. And Ruth and I were there to help translate for a lot of things, but especially the tourist places, so many people spoke English, or at least could understand. And even at the convenience stores, you go in, they have a little, it's almost like a sticker on the counter, and you can point to like a coffee, you can point to a bag, you can point to yes or no. So there are ways to communicate even if you don't speak Japanese. And you'd be surprised how in the big areas you can get around very easily.
And one great thing is Google Maps and your Suica, the app that downloaded in your wallet, because you can just add your money as you go. You can follow Google Maps on the trains. The trains are the best system in the world. Their buses, everything. You can just follow it to the T. Makes it so easy to get around. And then if you have your Suica on your phone, you can just recharge it anytime, and that's great. But when you do travel internationally, make sure you let your bank know that you will be traveling so that they don't block your card when you're trying to refill anything in your Apple Wallet. Another interesting thing is in Japan, we do not eat while we walk. So if you buy food at a convenience store, step aside, stop somewhere, sit at a bench at a park, do something, but do not eat while you are walking. That's very rude. It's not a pleasant thing, so avoid doing that. And also, another thing is there are not garbage cans around in Japan, so come prepared with a plastic bag where you can put all your garbage in, put it in your backpack, and when you get to your hotel, Airbnb, you can dispose of it correctly. They have a great recycling garbage system here where you separate everything, so please abide by those rules and do not make life challenging. Another thing is we take our shoes on and off a lot in Japan, so make sure you have shoes that are easy to put on and off. You do not want to have to be standing out in the middle of something trying to tie your shoe. So just keep that in mind. Your Airbnb, your hotel, a lot of times you'll take off, Airbnbs for sure, you'll take off your shoes at the entrance. Hotels, not always, but some are if you're in a traditional ryokan. There's house slippers always available. Sometimes they even have different slippers for you to use in the restrooms. So be aware of that.
And most places people are coming from are far from Japan. So you do have to plan on jet lag. Now, jet lag affects different people differently. It's just, you don't really know how it's going to hit. Some people are nauseous. Some people just get exhausted, like in the afternoon. Other people wake up in the middle of the night and they're so hungry. So you just have to have some flexibility planned into your itinerary. If you know you can just push through an itinerary and just go and that helps you get over jet lag, well then great. With our team that was here, we planned things to do, but we also left space in the itinerary, not just for jet lag, but also for weather. Because you're out and about a lot. One of the things on our itinerary was to see Mount Fuji. And that is extremely weather dependent. And it helps if you can get out there early. And so we had some flex days built in where we knew what we wanted to do, but we were flexible what days we did that. And speaking of itinerary, I would come up with a preferred itinerary. And there's so much stuff on YouTube. Just in Tokyo alone, you could spend months here, I think, and not like get to everything that there is to do here. We've lived here 12 years and we're still coming across things we haven't done. And so you probably already have in mind some of your favorite things that you want to do. Well, write those down, prioritize them. Does it meet good weather? Does it not? You can then plan to do things like a bad weather day. Well, then you go do the indoor things. There's certain things that only happen on some days, like Potts Church only happens on Sunday. You need to come visit us when you're there. But other things like government buildings, they're closed often on Mondays. So the Shinjuku Towers where you overlook everything, other things are like that. So you really have to pay attention to when places are open and closed.
Also, on the trains, do not be loud, obnoxious, noisy. Do not eat on the trains. That's just very disrespectful and rude. And you do want to make a good impression when you're here visiting Japan. So people are very busy. They're living your daily life. You're here as a tourist visiting, so be respectful of that. And just be quiet on the trains, sit in your assigned seating if there's seats available. Do not sit in the special needs, elderly seating, leave those for the designated people. So overall, just come with an attitude of, I am a visitor in this country and I want to see amazing things, but I also will be respectful of everything else that's going on around me.
Now what's interesting is in Japan you get to an escalator and you stand on the left side of the escalator and people will pass or walk up the escalator on their right side. So unless it's posted, there are a lot of rules, not just like that, but other ones that you would discover the longer you're here.
Like putting your backpack on the front of you when you get on a train.
Yes.
Because if it's on your back, you could hit people without knowing it, whereas if it's in front of you, you have more control of where your luggage is.
I would definitely suggest having some sort of bag, whether a small backpack, something that you can carry stuff around with. You can put your garbage in until you can get rid of it. That's very handy. If you can, do ride the Shinkansen, the bullet train. If you're able to get out of Tokyo for even a night, a lot of people go to Osaka, Kyoto, that's a popular one, but there are a lot of places that you can go and it gets you outside of Tokyo. It gets you onto the bullet trains, which are an amazing experience all in themselves. You have to budget for it. It's not cheap, but it is so worth it. In fact, we have a number of things on this channel that you can do, and even there are a lot of places in Japan that want tourists, that want your business. And a lot of them reach out to us to do videos, to go different places, to show different things. And so you can see those kinds of things on our channel in the past, and also more this year. We're going to be doing a number of those things where people have reached out to us, hey, please come show this area, please come show this lodging, please come show this or that, because there are lots of places that really do want tourists here. And those are great places to go because they're very welcoming, they're very hospitable, and they will love having you there.
And one thing when you come to Japan is they have amazing food. So try as much food as you can. Even if you're not sure if you're gonna like it, at least try it once, and you'd be surprised at how delicious everything is in Japan. I love eating. I love Japanese food.
It is very good. And if you've heard of the onsens here, they're like the public baths where they have the guys on one side and women on the other. Those are extremely famous in Japan, at least throughout Japan. People love that. They have a very much a culture of that. And it's worth trying because it is an amazing cultural experience and just something I kind of wish we could export to other places we go.
But there are rules that you need to follow in those places, so make sure the one that you want to go to, you look up online and you read the rules so that you can abide by those.
Budget. When you're talking about budget to visit here, obviously you're going to have your airfare. You're going to have to look into that. But once you're here, depending on what you want to do, you can eat for very inexpensive here. Like in US dollars, talking like $5 a meal often for some ramen or different things. And obviously, if you want to try like the good sushi and different things that are famous here, you're going to be paying more, but still it's quite reasonable. Thanks for watching this video. Now, something very important. If we missed an important do or a don't, please write it in the comments because then other people will be able to see that and it will help them, because I'm sure we didn't cover them all. We were just talking from our recent experience here, but please comment and be kind in the comments. And we appreciate you, and until next time, we'll see you on Life in Japan. Bye-bye.